The Celtics took a 2-1 series lead over the Warriors with a double-digit victory Wednesday night. Now, Boston a 4-point favorite according to Fox Bet Sportsbook heading into tonight's Game 4. We are now joined by FS1 NBA analyst Steven Jackson. Good morning, Steven. Weigh in here for us. Do you think this series is now basically over?
I wouldn't say it's over, but right now Boston is playing 4 against 5 against Golden State, and Golden State's got some tough decisions to make. And the toughest decision is, do we sit Draymond down? Oof. Because playing 4 on 5 on defense, on offense is really handicapping Golden State. It's making it harder for Steph to get those shots coming off the screens and making it harder for Klay and anybody else to even get a good rhythm because the guys guarding Draymond is able to double team all over the court. And by him not even looking at the basket, it's handicapping him. And then again, what he does best, play defense. He's not doing that either, right? Draymond is not really doing anything on both ends of the court. I love Draymond. He's one of my favorite players. But right now, he's hurting his team more than helping them. The little antics and stuff on the court, kicking and wrestling and diving, falling on people for balls, that's all insecurities making up for lack of production, a lack of game. And that's what's going on right now. I call a spade a spade. He's my boy, but they might have to sit him down to win the series because he's not helping them at all.
Whew. I don't believe it's over. I picked the Celtics before the series started. I still believe in them. You can't dismiss the Warriors because Steph Curry, he's still electric. He still can go get you 10, 12. You mentioned he probably, what's to say he doesn't score 12 threes? We've seen Klay get 11, 12, 13, 14 threes in a ball game. Yep. But I think I don't know if it's Draymond, but I think the thing is they might have to go a little bit more athletic and they might have to play Kuminga. Because Draymond is not giving him anything, but Draymond is really the heartbeat. He does a great job of setting picks. He does a great job of the dribble handoff. And a lot of times, then when you think he's going to hand the ball off, he'll peel and go lay the ball up himself. Right now, I agree with you, Stacks. He's not looking for a shot. He has to give them more than 2 to 4 points a ball game. He's only like an 8-point average guy. So if he gives you that, but gives you 8 rebounds, plus give you 8, 9 assists, you can live with that. But they might need to get a little bit more athletic and bring Kuminga in and reduce Looney's role. Because, Skip, if you're going to get beat like you're getting beat on the glass, Looney is of no use to you if he can't give you double-digit rebounds. Because we know the likelihood of him giving you double-digit points is not very high. Plus, it gives you another guy to deal with Tatum, deal with Brown, deal with Marcus Smart. They're going at Steph Curry. Even Derek White will try to take Steph Curry off the dribble. Marcus Smart will take him off the dribble. He'll even post him up. And so Wiggins can only guard one. He can either take Wiggins and put him on Jason Tatum, who he's forcing Tatum to shoot a very low efficient. His efficiency is not what we normally it would be. Or you put Klay on Jaylen Brown, and you see Jaylen Brown is getting off to great starts because Klay is not the defender that he once was. So I'm looking at Steve Kerr to maybe play Kuminga a little bit more than what we've seen in the previous 3 games. But this series is not over. But once we win tonight, it will be.
Well, so you're saying it's
No. Stop it.
Let it happen.
Just stop it, because you bad luck. You over there just hoping about.
This series is over.
I hate when you do this.
But Steven Jackson, I love your point. I had not thought about your point because I get Draymond crazy where I just get fixated on how much he has meant past tense to this team.
Right.
He has been the guts. He has been the glue. He has been the facilitator. He's really been the point guard on offense.
Yeah.
Even more than Steph has. And all of a sudden, I wake up to Steven's point and I say, you got it. That's a big bingo because he's a disaster. He's a liability. He's a shooter. You see him, they don't guard him at the top of the key, and he's like, should I shoot it? I guess I should try to shoot it. And he shoots it with no conviction whatsoever, and he misses it. And then on defense the other night, I don't know, did he just have a bad night? Maybe he spent himself on his podcast. I don't know. But he comes out with no energy. He wouldn't even do the fundamental screens of Robert Williams. You get your butt into him, try to push him back a little bit because Robert Williams is just going up over him, snatching offensive rebounds.
It's the antics.
Okay.
He's focusing on antics and trying to get in the head of the Celtics as opposed to playing this game.
This needs to be an Andre Iguodala Memorial Steve Kerr brilliant move where he says, I'm going to put so-and-so in. I'm just not sure who so-and-so is. Would you start Kuminga? Would you? I don't know which.
I wouldn't start him, but Skip, I'd give him more than DMP and mop-up minutes.
Okay, but where do you go? You can't go smaller because Boston's way too big already, right?
No.
I mean, you can't put Jordan Poole in the starting lineup in place of Draymond, right?
Well, he's a liability defensively.
Okay, well, I'm just saying. Stephen, where do you go? Where would you reach on the bench? For whom?
Well, and that's a good question. I think Kuminga is really the only option.
Yep.
Because you need athleticism and you need defense. I mean, you got to give Udoka credit. He even went back to the old Paul Pierce post play from the elbow on Steph.
He did.
That's how bad the defense was. So the combination with Draymond just not giving them anything. You know, when they was the championship team, Draymond was averaging 13, 10, and 9. He's not that guy no more, right? But they need him to win this championship. And Steph has to even – the token defense does not work in the NBA Finals. The token defense will work all regular season. In the NBA Finals, if you're not playing defense, you're going to get exploited, and that's what's happening to Steph right now.
Very good point.
That Warriors bench certainly came in handy in Game 2. We'll see if Steve Kerr runs that back a little bit more tonight. Thanks, Stephen. Have a great weekend. And
Thank you,
keep
guys.
right here because we are going to keep breaking down the NBA Finals. Guess what? Nelly is joining us. That's next on Undisputed.
I'm gonna let Chris handle you. Go ahead. Do your thing now. Refute what Chris had to say.
Chris ended by saying, I'm going to leave you with this. I'm about to leave Chris in the dust. In the dust. Shannon Sharp, my partner and great friend across the table, keeps saying I'm picking nits. I'm nitpicking poor little Steph. I'm about to pick boulders, not nits, boulders. Let's hark back to 2015 when you, Chris Broussard, make the case that he deserved MVP. What gets swept under the media carpet is that in games 1, 2, and 3, his first 3 games of finals in his career, Steph Curry was a flat-out disaster in those games, and he was the reason that they fell behind 2-1. Because in those 3 games, the MVP of the league that year, who had shot 44% from 3 in the regular season, shot 32% in the first 3 games from 3. That was 11 of 34. Along the way, he also turned it over 4 times in Game 1, 6 in Game 2, and 6 in Game 3. And by the way, does anybody ever remember, does anybody ever bring it up, that Game 2 in his house at Oracle against those Cleveland Cavaliers that went overtime, Cleveland prevailed 95-93 because Steph Curry missed a game-winning shot, 19-foot jump shot with 7 seconds left. Overprotected, I think so, because nobody ever brings that up. That would have put them up 1. Instead, LeBron gets fouled, goes to the free throw line. Of course, he missed the first one. He did make the second one to put them up 2. And guess who, on the inbounds pass with 4 seconds left, turned it over? Steph Curry turned it over again to put them in the hole as they went back to Cleveland and lost again to go down 2-1. Obviously, LeBron James was playing the greatest 3-game stretch of his career, and it ain't even close because he wasn't just all world. He was all galaxy in those 3 games. 40% usage rate, and he averages 41, 12, and 8. And all of a sudden, Steve Kerr makes the greatest strategic decision I believe any coach has ever made in a finals by inserting Andre Iguodala into the lineup in Game 4 in the King's house, his palace in Cleveland, to guard LeBron and make LeBron work a little bit more on defense. And what did he do? He held LeBron in Game 4 to 20 points. He was averaging 41 for 3 games, 20 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, but he shot 7 of 22 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3, and missed 5 of his 10 free throws. Iggy outscored him 22-20, added 8 rebounds, made 4 threes, and down the stretch of those games would be 4, 5, and 6 of that finals. Would you believe that Iggy forced LeBron James into missing 18 shots a game for those last 3? He missed 54 total shots. Iggy turned it around. Iggy changed life in that finals for Golden State, and they actually won a finals that they really had no business winning, even though there was no Kyrie, who had been lost in overtime of Game 1, and no Kevin Love. I thought the King would just close the deal, because if you go down 3-1, I'm pretty sure even with no help, the King can do that by himself. You want to interject?
Yeah, I want to ask you one question.
All right.
Are the final games the only one that matter in the playoffs, or do playoffs matter overall?
Okay.
Because it seems to me that you harped on that, but you don't talk about what he's done in the Western Conference Finals. You don't talk about what he's done when he beat Portland, when he didn't have Kevin Durant. You don't talk about what he did when Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook had him down 3-1, and he goes 31-7-6 in Game 5, 31-10-9 in Game 6, and 36-5-8 in Game 7. It seems to me that you built your whole discussion on Steph Curry in the finals.
On the games that matter the most. That's what I'm basing my argument on.
But no, but that's not what you did. Because everybody else you talk about, look at what Michael did to get past Detroit. Look at what Boston did to get past the Knicks.
Okay.
He didn't face any of those teams in the finals.
Let's keep it on little Steph, who has come up even smaller than he is, and let's fast forward to 2016, because in games 5, 6, and 7, you want to talk about getting the all-time pass for these 3 games. You've got LeBron and Kyrie down 3-1 with 2 of the last 3 in your house.
Yes.
And look what Steph Curry didn't do in the fourth quarter of those 3 games. He shot 30% from the floor. 30%? Remember, he's the unanimous MVP. He shot 25% from 3 in those